A fugitive member of a Scots crime supergang has been jailed for 5 years and 10 months for his role in a massive £15 million drugs and dirty money operation. John Gray was at the top table of the mob alongside kingpin brothers Barry and James Gillespie, as well as James the Don White. The 53-year-old, who later fled to the United Arab Emirates, was snared at Glasgow Airport in March this year, having landed back in Scotland. Anne Gray was today sentenced, having pled guilty to a charge of being involved in serious organised crime between August 2015 and June 2020. Lord Cuby told the mobster at the High Court in Glasgow, "You had a significant, sustained and persistent involvement in the supply, storage and adulterant of 3 drugs over a significant period of time, as well as the movement of related money. The purchase and sale of these drugs gives rise to misery, poverty, theft and death. Drugs are corrosive and destructive, and your actions helped fund serious organised crime. Cocaine is a dangerous drug with deadly consequences. The police said that this was a top-tier operation and you were described as integral. Your role was for financial gain and you sought to exploit the weakness and misery of others. You missed your own mother's funeral. You left Scotland and followed a lifestyle which hampered your ability to live as you wish, and this was your choice after being involved in offences of this matter. You will recognise that what you've pleaded guilty to is extremely serious, which extended over a period of years at a high level." Gray was also hit with a 3-year serious crime prevention order. Gray of Paisley in Renfrewshire was caught during the huge Operation Escalade probe into the gang, described as the most sophisticated Scottish police had ever encountered for the dealing in drugs, firearms, serious violence and dirty money. He was initially clocked in a summit meeting with principal members of the crew in Glasgow's Princess Square shopping mall. Prosecutor Christopher Miller said the purpose was to ascertain the whereabouts of criminal cash in excess of £1 million. He was also at other similar meetings at a KFC restaurant in Wishaw in Lanarkshire, as well as nearby Motherwell town centre. Mobsters also got together in Gibson Street in Glasgow's West End. Mr Miller said Gray was seen to get into a car with James White and drive off. Gray was further captured having a chat with White at a cafe in the city's Shawlands. The court also heard Gray got his hands on an encrypted EncroChat device after meeting an associate at a Toby Carvery pub car park. And like many criminals, this helped lead to his undoing after the law authorities busted the phone network in 2020. Mr Miller explained, Gray operated at the top-tier level of being concerned in the supply of unadulterated cocaine, cannabis and diamorphine around Glasgow, Paisley and elsewhere. He was also involved in the storing, processing and moving of money associated with both the purchase and sale of the drugs, but also monies derived from which formed the sources of funds for the organised crime group. Gray was in touch at EncroChat with a string of fellow underworld figures, including Darren Big Popper Collin, jailed for 8 years for drug trafficking in 2020. Mr Miller stated that the total amount of cocaine Gray was involved with ranged between £4.5 million to £13.5 million. Cannabis had a value of £497,500. Gray was also involved in the collecting of £1 million as well as obtaining a substance to bulk out and help maximise profits for drugs. Brian McConaughey KC, defending today, said, "It seems to be the case that he became involved in this matter and got deeper into it as time went on. He wants to stay away from that kind of lifestyle and the people he was involved with at that time." James White was jailed for almost 10 years in 2023 for heading the crime gang after the Gillespie brothers went missing. White had been hauled back to Scotland, having escaped a bolt hole in Brazil. Jail terms totalling well in excess of 100 years have been imposed following convictions from the large-scale Escalade investigation.